as we can see, the difference between different types of warm-ups, okay? And now is going to be a warm-up that's a collaboration between a beginner and somebody who's an expert in the field. And this is where I want you guys to start thinking about what education and what type of education do you have? And what is it that you want to expand and explore more of? Okay? So Nikita and Andy, go ahead.
So, because we're doing a full body warm up, and we have to warm up different joints. So there's the 4 major joints in the body. We have a shoulder, we have a hip, we have a knee, and we have an ankle. And depending on the exercise that you're going to be performing, even looking at like a lot of the warm-ups would actually be overlapping because you need to have adequate range of motion in all areas in your foot, knee, hip, and shoulders. So Andy's just going to start with a lunge with a twist, and I'll explain why we're doing it. So Andy's just going to demonstrate. So we're going to go with the lunge with a twist, and as you go, so there's a 3 plane of motions. One plane is walking straight, another one walking to the side, and the third one is rotation. So whenever he makes a step in the lunge, he stretches out his hip flexor. So right here, he squeezes his glutes. When he rotates, he works in more than one plane of motion. That's why it's a really good warm-up as you make a lunge to rotate. I personally like to rotate only to one side to only stretch it out, but it works both sides equally well. Plus, if you have weak glutes, weak foot, lack of stability, you'll be working on proprioceptive properties as well, right? So that would be our one for lower body. For upper body, and this is gonna demonstrate. So so who's here sits all day? Does everybody here sit all day, or does anybody have a sitting job? Do you study? Exactly. So what happens? We all like this, right? And that pulls our shoulders forward. And for a lot of lifts that you need to perform, you need to have a strong back and make sure that you actually open up the chest. So the easiest exercise, you can either use it with a band or with a stick. Stick creates more restriction because it doesn't pull apart. So basically you're gonna squeeze your glutes, pull your abdominals in, and you're just gonna do a full, and you're gonna grab. So you see how he went forward? That was a little bit too much for him, so he would have to open up the arms and just bring it all the way back. You wanna make sure he tucks in his chin, he touches his thighs, and then he goes again, and he squeezes his glutes all the way back. So when he's in this position, you see how his pinky came off? Ideally, he has to have his full arm over, and then he doesn't like it right away. Because when that pinky comes off, it means he doesn't have as much grip, and he doesn't have as much pull, and now he sees that he's much tight, and then he brings it back, and then bring it back. You see how he wanted to flare out his chest. We want to make sure that he stays tight. So for him, maybe he doesn't have a prerequisite to use the stick. So I think you were doing, but I walked away, but were you using the band to do the same thing? So maybe the band would be a good beginning because it has give, so you'll be able to open up a little bit more, right? But I usually use that exercise for all the upper body in the beginning just to open up because everybody's really tight in the chest and the shoulder. Good, that's 2. This is my favorite one. Nobody likes it. So it's called bear walk.
Let's everybody do it. Yeah,
So
let's go.
I'm gonna demonstrate first and explain how it works. So he said he has a tight hamstrings and back. He's in powerlifting. You're a runner. You also need really good hamstring and glute activation as you do it. Anybody who performs. So this exercise is called bear walk. Anybody done yoga here? Do you guys know what a downward dog looks like? So basically this is where there's another concept that comes into play, but basically what's gonna happen, you're gonna get into a downward dog position. You're gonna press your palms as hard as you can into the ground, your heels into the ground as well. You're gonna look through your legs. You're gonna lift one leg, make a step as close as possible to feel that pull. You're gonna reach as far as you can with the same side arm. You're gonna step with another one and reach, and then you hold it, and you like a bear, you're making noises. I'm just kidding. You're just rocking from side to side. Every time you put all that weight on one side, it's gonna hit the lateral chain, hamstring, glute, and then you make a step. You open up your obliques and your QL. So it's a really good exercise. We'll open up your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, lateral hamstring, your low back. Nobody likes it because it sucks, because everybody is tight. But if you guys want to try it out, it's one of the favorite exercises for me to get people moving and show them. And you can see if you walk in and you feel hamstrings, okay, I know my hamstring's tight. Somebody will say my calves are tight. Somebody will be like my low back is tight. So point out your weakness right away, because there are two chains. One is anterior chain and the other one is posterior chain. And then in the posterior chain is usually much weaker for a lot of people. So that would be, so if you guys want to try it out.
All right, let's go.